Greetings everyone. My name is Navin Madhav, second semester training teacher at Sponsor Teachers Training College. And today I'll be presenting a topic how I will organize a physical science laboratory as a physical science teacher, make list of equipment, chemicals, as chart, models, and specimen in the physical science laboratory. As you know that science grows and thrives through observation, experiment, and verification. And so, among all subjects of science, and physical science plays a crucial role in school education. And school education to understand the physical concept at in depth, and classroom education is not enough. Laboratory is essential, and a physical science laboratory is not just a place where experiments are performed, but a training ground where students learn correct method of observation, on need of safety, and most importantly, discipline, and for working in a scientific environment. So now we learn and organize a physical science laboratory. As a physical science teacher, one of the prime responsibility for me would be to organize the laboratory in systematic way. First is spacious, well ventilated and well lit room. So, spacious means that enough space for everything. For example, the length of the room should be 9 meters, breadth should be 6 meters, and height should be from 3 to 4 meter, uh, 4 meter, and there should be enough of ventilation facilities in all the opposite side of the walls, well lit, and the room should be equipped with enough light at everywhere except the optics room if there is in a school. And second is there should be separate section for physics and chemistry, for physics and chemistry for students to maneuver in for different and need proper sitting. There should be proper sitting and working place for all students to work experiments in group or individually in a proper way and proper corners. Next is storage and level way. Storage and shelves and all documents should be well labeled. And to find everything in the laboratory, everything should be well labeled and access to the all the students. And second is safety facilities. As a physical science teacher, it would be my responsibility for students to work in a safe environment, and they can perform every experiment they needed for their studies is a in enthusiasm and without worrying about the haphazard of anything chaos. For safety facilities, fire extinguisher, first aid box, and emergency exit should be well available. And and, and, and next is adequate water supply. And in case of need of drinking water or to perform experiment, water is needed, and so water supply and sufficient electric connections should be available in the science laboratory. Next is display area for chart, models, and specimen. Since physical science laboratory with experiments also needed the visual aid, and so to do this, enough number of charts, models, and specimens should be scattered all over the laboratory for students to see and learn from those. Next is laboratory equipment. In the physics and chemistry section of the laboratory should be well equipped. In the physics section of the laboratory must include variety of instruments to demonstrate principle of mechanics, light, optics, X, heat, etc. Equipment like vernier caliper, screw gauge, simple pendulum, set of stopwatch, as glass player, mirror of different types, register box, reuters box, emitter, voltmeter, battery emitter, cells, general cells, multimeter, ohm apparatus, Wheatstone bridge, is meter bridge, bar magnet, horseshoe magnet, compass box, magnetic needle, and tuning fork, resistance resonance tube, sound apparatus, spirit balance, physical balance, weight box, thermometer, calorimeter, laboratory stands, and rheostat with clamps, hot plates, spring clamps, and Bunsen burner for both physics and chemistry in common uses. In the chemistry section of the chemistry section, and to perform all the experiments, there should be enough number of equipments which are test tube holder, test tube stands, beaker of different types, conical flask, rounded bottom flask, measuring cylinder, pipette, burette, funnel, watch glasses, evaporating disc, is reagent bottle, glass and plastic. Both can be at motor, plastic, wash bottle, glass rod, dipper, strainer rod, tripod stand, wire gauze. Filtration setup should be filtered paper, funnel clamps, and there should be distillation apparatus, rounded bottle flask, safety and first aid box, fire extinguisher, eye bottle, gloves, and should be goggles, which are essentials in case of uh, safety for eyes. Next is chemical for school laboratory. At school level, laboratory doesn't need a lot of number of chemical stocks, but a common and basic chemicals should be enough for our school level. Um, Chemicals as acid should be hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid, and carbonic acid. For bases should be sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and lime solution circuit. Indicated and miscellaneous should be litmus red blue solution and phenolphthalein solution, methyl orange solution, indicator in iodine test, distilled water, hydrogen peroxide, diluted salt should be sodium chloride, copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate, zinc sulfate, potassium dichromate, potassium permanganate, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, ammonium chloride, silver nitrate, lead nitrate, etc. etc. Next is chart model specimen, and charts are effective way for providing teaching to the student. Visual support uh, is works in great way to support the lesson. And for physical science laboratory, charts should be atomic structure, periodic table, different laboratory apparatus, law of reflection and refraction, eye and vision defect of visions, magnetic spectrum, magnetic lines is around bar magnet and solenoid, and heating curve of water, cooling curve of acid base salt flowchart with examples, chemical bond diagram. Important scientists like Newton, Faraday, Madame Curie's is photos. Models should be 3D model of Bohr and Rutherford model molecules like H2O, NH3, CH4, CO2, etc. Solar system for physics and astronomy connection, and electromagnetic electric motor, all voltic cell, Daniell cell, as simple pendulum model, lens mirror diagram, 3D model, and etc. Specimens would be crystal, copper, sulfate, potassium dichromate, sodium chlorate, a different metal like iron, zinc, copper, aluminum, non-metal like sulfur, carbon, graphite, iodine pieces, as phosphorus in shape container, alloy like base, brass, as bronze, stainless steel, mineral like limestone, quartz, bauxite, it, hematite, and dry preserved samples like charcoal, chalk, uh, mica, etc. In conclusion, can say that to conclude that as physical science teacher, my duty is to organize the laboratory with essential materials equipped with chemical charts and models, and for students to perform and study complete learning of physical science. and also to understand everything their need of creating a safe space, resourceful and effective learning environment for all students.